Welcome back, everybody, to Fresh Outlook. It is time for our lightning round. We're going to talk to some of our guests about the top stories of the week. Jose Lopez, I'll start with you. This Taiwanese plane crash, unbelievable images of it coming down over a highway.
I mean, that is everybody's worst nightmare. When I saw that, I mean, I have no words to describe that. I mean, that's what you don't want to happen.
Horrible. And Janie, it sounds like one engine went out and then they mistakenly turned off the other engine. That's the horrifying part of all this.
Human error, but it points out so graphically how life changes in an instant and how we could behold that just because somebody has the video thing going on their car.
Yeah, we're eyewitnesses to everything nowadays because of the phone. You can actually even hear the woman scream. I think it was a woman. Matt, tell me about these Asian airlines that keep on crashing and going down. Is something going on with Asian travel as far as you know?
Well, I think a lot of the Asian airline problems, aside from this one, have been with externalities and third-party forces like Russia. I mean, it's very, very odd what's going on in the world in the airline industry. I'd like to see it more competitive.
Interestingly, let's turn to the Brian Williams video now. Brian Williams was on the plane and he tried to land it safely. Moments before it went into the ground, he parachuted out.
For our good,
and thank goodness he's fine. I'm going to go do this twice. Fire him or keep him?
I mean, he's a big name. I mean, he made a huge mistake.
Fire or keep him?
I would say still keep him.
Keep him. Janie?
On probation.
Probation, Matt.
Fire him immediately. Okay. He lost all credibility.
All you have as a journalist, your stock in trade is one thing. Truth,
yes.
Credibility, believability. This man that you're looking at right there tried to make himself the story, which is a mistake many journalists make. But Jose, he lied. Why do it? Imagine if John Kerry had done this, had said his helicopter had been shot down, or Barack Obama, or it's George W. Bush. He'd be like, "Good evening, I'm Brian Williams. Tonight, a politician in the crosshairs."
Right. What he did, I mean, I don't understand it. Was he stuck in the moment? I mean, I still don't understand.
Nobody forgets being shot down. If I go out today and blow out the windshield of your car, you're going to remember it. But if I blow out Janie's windshield, you're not going to conflate the two or misremember.
Right, I agree.
Okay, Janie.
How can you not be able to report the truth when your job is reporting? It's just unthinkable.
Well, you know what I say, people who ascend to these extremely high levels have done untoward things most of their lives. They've gotten away with it, it's emboldened them, and it's empowered them, and as a psychological expert, I'm probably right.
I'm not going to argue with you.
You're the psychological expert?
No.
No, I'm talking to Janie as a psychologist. I'm an expert on everything as a journalist, darn it. Matt,
I would like to add, you just cited John Kerry, and there's a great example of exactly this dynamic that you described. A couple years ago when Egypt was blowing up, it was a holiday weekend, and he was on his yacht off the coast of Massachusetts, and CBS went and staked it out, and they showed coverage of him in his swim trunks on his yacht. State Department at the same time was officially releasing a statement. John Kerry's in the office working on this Egypt crisis. CBS says, "We are watching him right now in his swim trunks. Would you like to change that statement?" They said, "No, that's our official line." That is the contempt they have for the people.
Well, that's when Hillary Clinton was at the airport dodging sniper fire. The voices in my head are asking me to ask you something, Janie.
Yes.
Is it possible that he got confused on this?
No. No, it's not possible.
This is our clinical psychologist, Dr. Janie Feldman.
That's my professional assessment of this situation. You've got to know what you're talking about. You make a living talking. You just have to be accountable for the words coming out of your mouth.
Okay. Jose, fire him or keep him. We're going to go now.
Okay.
Reevaluate.
You're convincing me. Okay, if those are my two
just
choices,
because he's popular, let him host Brian, a talk show syndicated across America where he can cook and tell fabulous tales every day. Let's not make him the preeminent news anchorman of America.
Right, the face of NBC News. Right.
I mean, that's
make him a pariah.
I mean, we knew MSNBC.
I think it's time for retirement.
Absolutely.
Early retirement.
Absolutely. You know what I say? His daughter played Peter Pan. Now he's auditioning for the role of Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
Okay. Let's turn now to the Pope. The Pope says he's not PC savvy. We're not talking about political correctness, but operating a computer. What do you think of Pope Francis?
Pope Francis is 78 years old. Okay, my grandparents are also not. We're also not computer savvy folks. Even my parents have a hard time. They're constantly asking me questions about things. So I mean, Pope Francis has many things on his mind aside from knowing how to chat on Google.
So we'll
Chat.
give him a pass. We're not going to fire him over this.
Absolutely.
Keep him, fire him, fail, or what's it? We'll keep him. Janie, what do you think?
I'm thinking he's got to have a staff of I don't know how many people. There isn't somebody there who could sit him down one day. I'm sure he's very busy, very important stuff. But at this point, he's got such an eminent place in the world. So many people looking to him for information, ideas. It's how we communicate.
Wouldn't it be funny if you got into the Vatican and it was really run like GE? Like he was in a custom-made bespoke apparel suit. He was on 5 different computer screens at once and analyzing everything. And like he just put on the costume for show. Who knows?
Well, I'm a little
Matt.
less worried about his lack of PC savvy than his lack of economic savvy, which economics is the study of human behavior, and he seems to have a lot of problems getting that straight. Despite empirical reality of the last 100 years, he seems to be the most anti-capitalistic pope in history. I really miss John Paul II.
Okay, Jose Lopez, I'm going to let you chime in on that because it does. I'm a Roman Catholic, I must say, but he does grind my gears with all of his socialism that he espouses.
Look, he's supposed to be caring about the people, and economics, to its credit, is brought us a better living in general, but not everywhere in the world. And that's one of the things he's bringing light to. He went to the European Union, to the Council, he's talked to them. When he had the private meeting with President Obama, he's brought this up. He says, okay, economics works, capitalism works, but don't throw people away. They're not things. They're not cars. They're not styrofoam cups.
And also,
I agree with them on
when
that.
you say WWJD, I mean, I don't think he'd be a libertarian Republican, right?
I think that he would want.
let you pass
I
on
think
that.
that he believed. If you read St. Augustine, there was a lot about free will. So I think that he would espouse the theory of not being told what
Okay,
to
I'm
do.
going to look at Jesus' monetary policy another time, and we'll have a whole nother 15 minutes on that. Janie, I'm going to turn to you, and we're going to talk about the Super Bowl. Did you have a favorite commercial?
I loved the one with the dog, but I got to tell you, here's my line here.
Okay.
Super sentimental, tops, super sexy. And I'm going to say, taking a feminist position here, I like seeing other things besides how naked can women get and still be on TV.
Yeah, the dog commercial, we just showed a little bit of the Budweiser commercial. It told the tale of a dog that runs away, a puppy, and he is rescued by a horse when he is nearly attacked by a wolf. And an amazing narrative. If it's a 30-second spot, it's amazing. It might have been a minute.
It's a minute.
It is a
minute.
minute. Okay. What was your favorite commercial?
Well, I thought that one had sort of a nice warm sensibility. By and large, I was pretty disgusted with most of them. I look at all these corporate citizens who are doing a lot of damage and engaged in protectionist rackets, and they're spinning a propagandist narrative Goebbels would be proud of, that we just want to hug all our customers, and that's certainly not the dynamic that we see in the real world.
But that's what it's about. It's not, when you're Coca-Cola, you're not about selling Coca-Cola because everybody buys Coca-Cola.
It's commodified.
It's about humanizing the brand, making you feel good about Coca-Cola or feel about Budweiser. I mean, they're not going to show you a 70-year-old war vet at the VFW hall at 11 a.m. in the morning drinking a 40. They're going to show you a horse.
The best buds.
What?
Yeah.
That's what they're called, the best buds. That
Exactly.
was the tagline.
But Bud missed the mark really big on another commercial they did during the Super Bowl, really talking down to craft brewery.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that it really was emblematic that more of the commercials were really bad than really good.
See, the thing is, with the craft brewery shots that they took, I actually thought it was good, making fun of pumpkin ale, because there's this like Americana guy out there that doesn't really exist in the Northeast, but he's south of the Mason-Dixon line and he's east of Arizona, that thinks guys that drink, pumpkin ale are out of their minds.
You know what? They're losing a lot of share to pumpkin ale, which is why there's a shot
Oh,
across
exactly.
the bow.
That's why they're trying to make it manly to drink Bud
Yeah.
and not pumpkin ale. I think I'd probably have a pumpkin ale. Dodge was another advertisement that got a lot of play. Could you hit it there? And is that the Dodge? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, now this talked about the wisdom of old people that they knew that Dodge was a comer. Janie.
How sweet is that? So we're looking at these lovely old people, and they're giving us their wisdom as to how to live a better life. And who's not going to buy into that? It's sweet.
And also the cruise line commercial where they used the words of JFK. I thought that was very, very powerful, and it actually made me pine for a president who was so eloquent that 50 years or so after his death, his words would be used as a narrative for a commercial.
But I think the best commercial, and I'm going to be counterculture to everybody here, was the Microsoft one. I'll tell you why I like that one. It was about this little boy and his family who the little boy was born without legs, and then he has these prosthetics, and then they're using Microsoft and all of the different products that they have there to make a better life for him. I really thought the Super Bowl commercials go from hilarious to really silly to inspirational. I thought this one said, look, you could do so much. They could have done so much, Microsoft. They could have talked about the Xbox, could have advertised whatever, somebody watching YouTube or all these different things, but they went with that. I thought they were the real winners. That was a commercial that, when I was watching the Super Bowl, that really got me.
Okay, let's quickly talk about harsh winter. Has this winter thrown you a curveball? 10 seconds.
No, I think on the East Coast you have to expect this. I mean, it's up and down, and if you can't manage it, then why are you in government?
Janie?
You got to know with forecasting, things are subject to change, and if the weathercasters just told us that it might change last minute, be prepared.
Exactly. We used to also walk to school. Matt Tyrmand, thank you for your time. Janie Feldman, for your time. Dr. Jose Lopez, thank you for your time. That is it for this edition of Fresh Outlook, Ebers TV talk show that does what else? Help you keep your outlook fresh and informed. I'm Logan Crawford, not Brian Williams. Thanks for joining us.